You're a runner, you go to the gym, and you have no idea what to do at the gym, but you're motivated. You want to start to cross train, you want to add strength training into your routine, you just don't know what to do. And that's what I'm going to be breaking down in this video. I'm going to simplify strength training for runners, and it's going to be so easy that it's only going to take you about 30 to 45 minutes, and you're going to have much better run performance, much better longevity, and reduce your risk of injuries. So when it comes to running, you don't need to strength train that much. You only need 2 days a week of strength training, which sounds crazy because people will do group fitness classes and do like 4 to 5 classes while also trying to plan their runs, and it gets exhausting. So you only need 2 strength training days. And here's how we're going to prioritize those strength training days. If you're doing things like a tempo run or a long run, this sounds absolutely miserable, right? But you actually combine your tempo runs with a strength training day and your long runs with a strength training day. Our goal here is to keep the high intensity days high so that when you have something like a recovery run or just a rest day, your body will actually recover. If you do a tempo day and then you have a recovery run and you add strength training, then you have a long run the following day, you're just gonna always be tired. So if you keep the hard days hard, it's actually gonna allow your low days to give you efficient recovery so that you can keep pushing it. So this is gonna suck initially when you do tempos and you do a long run and you have to go straight into a workout, but you're a runner. You're trying to get better at running. You don't need to push the weights that hard. The job for you is to just show up consistently and do whatever you've got that day. And it doesn't matter if you're the strongest person in the gym. Or in some blocks, you might even be using the same weight for a while. But if you show up consistently and just strengthen your tempos and your long run days, you're gonna build so much durability. So let's take a look at what the actual structure of training looks like. So if we were to trim all the fat out of your programming, this is all you would need. And your training would literally be some sort of dynamic warm-up or some sort of floor-based warm-up. And it could be whatever. You could do some bridges, Copenhagen planks, side planks, just something to kind of get your body moving. But the first movement you would do, it would be a jump. And with your jumps, we keep it very, very simple. You're just gonna do 1 variation and you're gonna do 3 sets of 5. And it might not sound like much, but if you're trying to jump as high as you can, 5 repetitions, and that's enough, because after 5 repetitions, you'll actually have a little bit of drop off in your output. From there, we're gonna work on a primary squat or a hinge. And you're a runner, remember, you don't need to strength train and like try to do a heavy single. You're just gonna work on 3 sets of 6 to 8 reps. And I want you to always have 3 RIR, which is reps in reserve. You can always have about 3 reps left in the tank and still make really great strength gains. You should never be grinding through reps because again, your goal is to actually just get better at running. It's not to get better in the weight room. The weight room is gonna supplement the running. From there, we're gonna go into single leg squat or hinge. And with these exercises, you can go for 3 sets of 6 to 10. And then we're also gonna have a staggered stance, which is 1 leg in front of the other. And we're gonna pick a squat or a hinge and same thing, 3 sets of 6 to 10. Now, with these 3 sets of 6 to 10, you can actually push those things to failure because it's a little bit more safer to push to failure than a compound exercise where you might have a barbell on your back. With these exercises, it's way less taxing from a musculoskeletal perspective and also from a nervous system perspective. So you could push a single leg and stagger stance way more. And with this structure, I'm gonna show you exactly what kind of exercises you can plug into this. So I've added a couple of exercises. The first exercise, you're just gonna do a single leg jump where you're on 1 leg, you're gonna jump in the air, and you're gonna stick it with 2. I'm gonna have all of these exercises plugged down below in the notes of the video so that you can see them as a reference, and they're gonna appear somewhere on the screen. That's gonna be, our editor is gonna be putting it on so that you can kind of follow. So the jump variation is very simple. You're on 1 leg, jump up in the air, stick it with 2. From there, we're gonna move on to something like a box squat. Box squat is a very great way to introduce the squat. You can always squat ass to grass and really get your hips all the way down to the back of your calves. But when you're going through larger ranges of motion, it's more taxing on the legs. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but remember, if your goal is to actually improve in running, you're never gonna really experience that much knee bend. Squatting to parallel is probably already enough for a lot of runners, but I'm just putting the box squat there because if you're watching this video, chances are you're new to strength training, and squatting to a box or a bench is a great way to start to load that pattern. You can do that with a dumbbell, a kettlebell. You can even start to play around with barbells. It's very easy to utilize and it feels very safe. For us, we just tap the box and come up. We don't sit there and pause. We just tap and come back up. From there, we're gonna link the single leg squat variation. Single leg squat variation that we're gonna utilize is a skater squat. So we're just standing on one leg, back knee bent, coming down into a skate position. The way to start to increase the load of this over time is just gonna be using a weight vest, holding a dumbbell or a kettlebell. You can hold dumbbells out in front of you. They're like lighter 10-pound ones, or you can hold a heavy kettlebell, and you're gonna work on getting depth. You can do 3 sets of 10 and leave 1 to 2 reps left in reserve. And then we're gonna pair the single leg squat with a stagger stance hinge. And this is a kickstand deadlift. Some people call it a B stance, but you have one leg forward, one leg back, the back leg's on your toes, and you're just gonna slowly lower yourself into a hinge. Same thing, 3 sets of 10 with 1 to 2 reps left in the tank. These exercises aren't special, right? I'm just giving you something that you guys can run with, but you can plug in any primary squat variation that utilizes a barbell, any sort of single leg variation that challenges your quads. It could be a single leg wall sit, for instance, or a single leg wall squat. And it could be a stagger stance hinge. It could be a kickstand deadlift hinge with just like a kettlebell. You can use a landmine attachment. But I like following this sequence because, again, it just trims all the fat, puts a heavy emphasis on the lower body. You can easily sprinkle in some upper body work here, but if we're just gonna simplify it, this is as simple as it gets. This is day 2. Day 2 is super simple. Instead of coming up and down, we're actually gonna start to challenge the frontal plane a little bit more. So it's just a lateral bound. You're standing on your left leg, bounding to your right, coming back and forth, and you're gonna stick each position. If you're having a very easy time sticking it, I just want you to jump a little bit further. But the reason why we have a lateral bound is because so much of running is cyclical forward and back. It's good to introduce some variability into the system. So we use a lateral bound, but you can also just jump side to side. But I would want some sort of multi-directional pattern in a jump, not just the cyclical kind of up and down. From there, we're gonna move into our primary hinge. So remember, day 1 was a primary squat. We're gonna move into a trap bar deadlift. Trap bar deadlift is very, very easy for people to grasp. You just literally hold onto the handle and you come up and down. It's very intuitive. 3 reps in reserve, and this is very easy to push over time. From there, we have the primary deadlift. We're gonna go into a single leg hip hinge variation, just a single leg deadlift. Stand on one leg, make sure the hips are coming back as you lower the weight towards your ankle. And we'll keep the same rep scheme, 3 sets of 10, 1 to 2 reps left in reserve. And since we have a single leg hinge variation, we can start to implement a stagger stance squat variation, which is gonna be the split squat. Split squat, you can load it holding weights in each hand or holding in the goblet position. Then we're keeping that same rep scheme, 3 sets of 10, 1 to 2 reps left in reserve. Now, all of these exercises are more free weights. I can care less if you use free weights or machines. I actually think machines are great for beginners as well. So if you didn't want to do like the single leg deadlift, like what you could do is just do a single leg press, right? On a leg press machine. And the higher you put your foot on the leg press, the more hip dominant it's gonna be. And if you didn't want to do something like a split squat, you can easily change that for a leg extension. And our goal is not to like favor certain exercises. We're just after adaptations. And the adaptations that we're gonna improve on is gonna be, you're gonna get power, you're gonna get top end strength, and you're gonna build tissue capacity. And all of these things are gonna improve your run economy, make you a more resilient runner. And honestly, it's just nice to have muscles. So hopefully you guys like this little setup and it's very simplified. If you're a runner that's been dealing with a lot of chronic injuries and you want to work with a physical therapist that actually understands how to get you back to running, but also understands how to get you performing at a higher level, you can work with our team. Our team works with so many people, whether they're just getting started for their Couch to 5K program, or we've had people that ran half marathons, ultra marathons, and we've even had Olympic athletes come through our door. So if your goal is to get back to running pain-free and optimize your running, we could totally help you out with that. Hopefully this video gives you a ton of insight on how simple strength training can be and the benefits that you can get with it. If you want to work with our team, check out the notes in the video. You can easily schedule a call and see if we're a good fit for what you're experiencing.